Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janet and welcome to the Call to Create podcast. I am so happy that you're here listening because I love talking about creating and all the things that you can create in your life. And I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And today's topic is about fulfillment. So let me ask you this. Are you having restless nights? Could it be that you aren't feeling fulfilled? And I'm talking about that because I've noticed that that's what's been happening to me for a while. And I wanted to talk about it again because I made another episode about this back in episode number 99. And I talked about, are you feeling fulfilled? And I also, in that episode, if you didn't have a chance to listen to it, go back after you listen to this, go back and listen to that episode because I talked about asking yourself questions and opening up your treasure chest. And that's an analogy I use about what's in your heart. So go back and listen to that because I'm really passionate about helping women to create their lives, even create a business if you're interested. You don't have to, but I'm still excited to help you create your life and create all the amazing things that you could do and have and be and share. Like I'm all about creating and sharing. But I know that there are times in our life where you may not feel fulfilled and that I haven't felt fulfilled. So that's why I want to talk about it so much. And the basic definition of fulfillment is happiness and satisfaction. But I know that fulfillment is way deeper than that. It's so, so deep that it could probably we could talk about it every day for the next year because that's how deep fulfillment is. And, fulfillment is so different because it's so different for everyone because fulfillment is like something so personal. And not to mention the fact that we come from different places in the world, we come from different cultures. So our upbringings are so different. And then what our parents teach us is way different than, your best friend or your neighbor. But I know that we all have a need for fulfillment. And think about it. Look at what's missing in your life. Is there something more to your life? Like, are you restless because you know there's something more? And when I'm talking about more, I'm not talking about acquiring material things or buying things or buying a big house or anything like that. I'm talking about the kind of fulfillment that feeds your spirit, feeds your soul, and it just makes you feel like, wow, you're doing what you're meant to do here on earth. And that's the kind of fulfillment I love to talk about because it's so deep and it's so meaningful, and it's not something that you can just put up on a shelf. You can't just go to the store and buy it and then put it away in your closet or anything like that. This is much deeper and it has a lifelong effect. And also to mention in episode 99, when I talked about fulfillment, I also mentioned about how easy it is to suppress your feelings that you have when you have that stirring of needing to be fulfilled and to do good things. One thing that I know for sure is that women are given the gift to create and to bear children and to raise them and to nurture them. And, and even if you can't have children, you still can adopt children or you can help raise someone else's children by being a good example or being there for someone. But we have that nurturing as women. We have that need to contribute and to feel fulfilled. And that kind of stuff is very fulfilling. But then sometimes raising children is just a season in your life. Now for me, all my children are adults, so I have grandchildren. And I know for a fact that I'm in a different stage in my life right now where I have a different need to fulfill, and I have this deep desire that I want to contribute and teach people, and I want to be able to really be there to share my experiences that have worked and to help women, because I love people and I love talking to people, and I just feel like women have so much to contribute to the world. They can make a difference. And, there's nothing more satisfying, and there's nothing more than all of the things in your life that can bring you happiness than doing the things that will make you feel fulfilled. And that's a good thing when you have that desire to to feel fulfilled, because you're paying attention to that stirring inside of you. And I know that that stirring comes from God. He has given you a specific purpose for you to be here on earth. There's something special that you need to do. There is something special that you need to accomplish. And He's given you gifts and talents that are meant to be used and shared to bless your life and the life of and the lives of other people. So I know that this stirring is so important because it's not superficial, because it comes from God and there's a reason for it. So I want you, again, like I talk about in almost every episode, is to get out a pen and paper, get something creative to write with, like a cool looking pen, and write down what is stirring in your heart right now. What is that need and desire that you have, and that need for fulfillment? What is it all about? Can you see it? Can you touch it? Can you feel it? And these are the things that will make you come alive. And we need to come alive. The world needs women to come alive and to share their gifts and to really make a difference. And it's not like you have to save the whole world, because you can't. That's not possible. But there are important things that you can do. And, maybe again, you're not one of those that has a desire to change the world or do something that affects the whole world. But you can do something that makes a difference in your family or your community or anything like that. But when you tune in to that stirring and really see what's deep down inside, that is what will make you come alive, is to be able to pay attention to what you have going on in your heart and your mind. And I'm talking about this so much, and I'm telling you all of these things for you to do. And of course, I hope you take me up on it, but I do these things. I talk about the things that I do. I don't just talk about some idea that, oh, that might possibly could be a good idea. I'm not sure. I never ever tell you things like that. I always tell you things that I've done and I know that it works. And I also talk about the painful things that don't work that I've done. And I know that if you just pay attention to that stirring, you'll be amazed at what you come to learn about yourself. Because the more you learn about yourself and the more you learn about your gifts and talents and what you were created to do, the more fulfilled you'll feel, the happier you'll be, and that will just radiate all over. It'll radiate to your family, anything that you do. When you know who you are and you can fulfill all of these stirrings, it will just be amazing. And if you don't believe me, then just take me up on this. Do all the things that I'm sharing, because I pay attention to all the stirrings that I have. And sometimes I get frustrated because, like, I want to get it done now. All the things that I want to do and all the dreams that I have or the goals I have, like, sometimes I get impatient because I want it to be done, like, right now. Like, I know a lot of you are like that because, like I say, all the conversations I have with women, they tell me similar things. Like, we just want it now because, hey, we just have a mission. We are here to rock and roll and get things done. And, It doesn't help that we have cell phones and technology where everything is instant. We can get instant messages, instant this, instant packages showing up on our doorstep. But unfortunately, that's not how life works. Life experiences are not instant. All of these things that help us grow and learn all take time. And you have to learn patience, which is very hard because I've had to learn patience and and I have to remind myself to just take it one step at a time, one day at a time. I'm not Superwoman or I'm not Wonder Woman, even though I wish I was. That would be really cool. But that's not true. There really is no Wonder Woman. And the kind of fulfillment you need right now and the kind that you want right now, like I'm talking about, it it will change. Like the things that you have a desire for to be fulfilled with, it will always change over time, especially as you grow and you learn and you have these different experiences in your life. Because as a teenager, your desire for fulfillment is very, very different than when you're 20, 30, 40, and beyond. And that's a good thing because I would never ever want to have the same desire for fulfillment now here at my age like when I was in my teenage years, because that was a really awful time. I was selfish, did a lot of crazy things, and it scares me to think about some of the things I did. But I try to let that go, just remembering that I was a really foolish teenager. And I'm grateful now that I have a desire to make a difference in people's lives. And that's one of the reasons that I'm sharing all these things in this podcast. That's one of the reasons I have this podcast, is so that I can share and make a difference in women's lives, because it just brings me so much joy and happiness when I'm working with a client and she has an aha moment, or she has this moment where she realizes like, oh, okay, well, I need to change my thinking, or I need to change the way I do this, or I need to, it's just that those times where my client will say things like, oh, I never thought about it like that. And that's why I love what I do. I love working with women because we are nurturers and we love to share, and we're always open with each other as far as being willing to tell each other how we feel and get advice from other women. And it's so wonderful when women can make these changes and work towards their dreams and their goals, and to be able to make that difference that they've been wanting to make. It's just that, we as humans, we have our own roadblocks and stumbling blocks that we put in our own way. I mean, of course, we have roadblocks from other people too, but a lot of times we put those roadblocks in front of ourselves. And it's okay. We're human. There's things that we have to learn. And without these roadblocks, we would just be stuck. We would just be going around in circles and circles. But these roadblocks will always be there as like a mirror to show you like, hey, something's going on that maybe you need to change. You can't feel and be fulfilled unless you realize the things that you need to change and grow and learn before you can have fulfillment. Now, is fulfillment 100% possible? That's a good question. I don't know. Some people have claimed that they feel 100% fulfilled in their life or certain parts of their life. Now, I know that I feel super fulfilled as a grandma. Now, that's the one area that I feel that I can say 100% that I feel fulfilled. And with my friendship with my best friend, I know that I can say that my relationship with my best friend is fulfilled and fulfilling. Now, the rest of my life, does it feel fulfilled? Not really. Now, it might take me a lifetime, and that's okay. I don't see anything wrong with that because I'm not perfect. And I don't think that It's possible to feel 100% fulfilled in every area of your life and in everything that you do. But that's why I want you to work towards feeling fulfilled in a certain area of your life. Just take one area of your life right now and not focus on your whole life, because you have so many pieces or parts to your life. And so there's no possible way that you can be satisfied and have total 100% happiness in every area of your life, because every area of your life takes work. So do this for yourself today. Start with one area of your life, figure out what is not working, figure out what you can do next to feel fulfilled. What is it that you can do or change? Remember, write it out on paper. That specific area of your life, what is going on that you're not feeling fulfilled? Or is there a specific area where you're just restless and you have a hard time sleeping because that's all you're thinking about? Like it's just there's something that's bothering you about it. So write it down, because when you write it down, it'll come alive. It'll make you realize like what's going on. And having that thing going on in your head in circles will just make you crazy. And that's what it's done for me. But as soon as you write it out, it'll make a big difference. You'll really see it'll come alive as far as what's happening. But take this time today to write it down and work towards feeling fulfilled. Get to work on the steps that you need to take, because we don't need any more restless nights. We need a good night's sleep, ladies. We really need a good night's sleep. It's not good for our beauty if we don't sleep well. But we need sleep. That's all I can say. And the nights where I'm restless and I don't sleep well, the next morning I'm all delirious. And I feel like, you got the wrinkles or the deep circles under your eyes or the bags under your eyes. And hey, we don't need any of that. So take this time, because you have worth and value. And I know you can do this, and you have a difference to make in the world. And you are sent here for a reason. You are here on earth for a reason. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this podcast. And please share this podcast with anyone who you know would get great value out of listening to it, especially if you know that they're thinking about starting their own business. Or even if they're not, there's still great value that I share in each episode that can bring value to women, even if they aren't interested in starting their own business. And please rate and review this podcast. I would appreciate it. And thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. Aloha.